In this video, we're going to carry on looking at Google Forms. At this point, we'll assume that you have completed your form, as we did in the previous video, by adding different options for people to complete. Once you have published your form, you will get a little option up here that asks you to copy a link, and you can just send that link to your responders. If you want to share it a different way, can you see this little guy with a plus sign next to his head? You can go in here and you can put in the email addresses of people that you want to send it to, and it gives you a little email box which will allow you to put in a message to go with it. Or you can just choose this option where it says copy responder link, and then you can paste that into a normal email to send it out. If you are going to embed it into your website, in the top right hand corner here, there are three little spots, and there's an embed HTML option, which will give you the full HTML location, and you can copy that and put that into your web design. Now, once the person has received the link and they've clicked on it and filled in the form, they'll have a submit button at the bottom. And once they've hit that submit button, in real time, it will appear, the information will appear back into your responses tab, and you'll see a list of the people that have responded, and it gives you some really nice little charts actually that chart the information they've completed. One of the first questions was, what department are you in? And we had 4 different departments, and you can see it's broken it down by percentages and said, oh, this percentage have answered from the construction department, this percentage from the design department, and so on. We also asked them, are you a new starter, which we set as a yes no field, so you can see which proportion of people are new starters and which people are looking for replacements, and so on for all the different questions. If you want to get a copy of your chart, you could pop it into something like a Word document if you were making a report or a PowerPoint presentation. If I just choose copy chart, I'm just going to flip into PowerPoint for a moment and create myself a new blank slide, and then you can literally just choose paste or choose Control V, and then you've copied that chart across into your presentation. It doesn't behave like a chart in terms of how a chart would normally behave if you created it in PowerPoint, so you won't be able to make any changes to the chart. It basically thinks it's a picture, so you can make it bigger and smaller and things like that, but you wouldn't be able to change things like the data labels or anything like that. But you can resize it and move it about as if it were a picture, effectively. Now, going back to the responses page, there's a couple of things on here that I wanted to show you. One of them is about notifications, because by default you don't get a notification when somebody fills in your form. But you can switch them on if you would like to. Can you see in the top right hand corner where it says link to sheets here? There are 3 little spots, and you can switch on an option that says get email notifications for new responses, so that every time somebody completes the form, you get an email to tell you that they've done so you can go and check your responses list. And here you can also download your responses as a CSV file, which stands for comma separated values, which is a file type that Excel can understand. So if you need to have the responses in an Excel spreadsheet, you can do that. The other thing I wanted to show you is this option called Link to Sheets. And if I click on Link to Sheets, it's going to ask me to create a new spreadsheet. Now, this is a Google Sheet, not an Excel spreadsheet, but it is something that you can download into Excel if you need to. I'm just going to choose Create, and I'll show you what it looks like in a second. It will make me a little uniform order form responses sheet, which is saved in my Google Drive. And every time somebody responds, it will just add another record onto this list, and you can see the timestamp of the date and time that that person responded. You automatically get little filters, these little drop downs at the top of the column here. So you can filter for specific responses. If I think, oh, I only want to see people who are new starters, then it's filtering out all the people who said no to the new starter question, or I could do it the other way around, say I only want the no's and not the yeses. And when you want to clear a field, you can just choose clear here, or you can choose select all. And then I've got all my responses back again. Now, the only trouble with this layout is it isn't an Excel spreadsheet that I can manipulate. So if you want to do more work on it and you want to take it out of the Google environment, when you go to your file menu, there's a download option, which allows you to download it into an Excel spreadsheet. And if I wait for that to upload, here we go. I'll just open that in Excel for a moment. And you will see this is now behaving exactly like an Excel spreadsheet. The only trouble I've got with this is the headings have come out black on purple just because of the colour scheme. I'm just going to make this white text so you can see that all the field names are all still there. I've still got the filter, but now it's an Excel filter rather than a Google Sheets filter, but they behave really, really similarly. And then I can do things like make pivot tables, make pivot charts, all the sorts of things that you might want to do in Excel.